Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Papses in the Spinroom, where, like every week, I'm joined by Paps here. How we doing?
Hello. I'm doing okay. I'm doing acceptable. I had a bit of I was thinking I had a bit of a weekend of relax.
Oh, nice.
I went to the coast. I was pretending I'm on holiday.
Yeah,
It was a good weather. Then I had a Sunday roast. You know who has Sunday roast nowadays? But I did.
Love a roast.
Yeah, so I had a roast, kind of roast actually, and then and I'm tired like it's Thursday and it's Monday, and I'm just thinking, so what's the trick? If you're partying, it doesn't work. If you're relaxing, it also doesn't work. So what works?
Might as well party all the time. I mean,
You do the math.
well, usually party on Saturday, Sunday rest, recovery, roast, then back to it on Monday.
So guys, you let us know what you think is the best remedy for this difficult situation. This little pig. I like to call it one of those phrases which have absolutely no meaning. It's a chicken and egg situation.
Yes, yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, and yeah.
I mean, otherwise you can have the chicken and the egg, party all the time, and always be on it.
But that's not Christian.
No, we're big religious leaders here.
We wanted to be solid and we want to suffer a little bit.
Yeah,
because you should.
No, yeah. I mean, what's the Benedictine saying? Ora et labora, pray and work. That's your life.
Look at this guy. You can see the Italian blood. He's fine.
Just slip some Latin there when I can.
Oh, that's labora. I didn't hear it for a while. But hey, speaking of saying places and then modernizing themselves. Have you heard that Pope threw a rave?
No.
No, so the Pope threw a rave, and there was a priest DJ, and I'm like, this is perfect. This is exactly the world I was fighting for.
I want to hear the hymns, but remixed. That's what I want to hear.
Imagine.
I would love to see that. Love to see that.
Okay, so where are my manners?
I was gonna say I'm fine, by the way. Thanks for asking.
How was your week? Tell me.
My week is good. I mean, as we're recording, it is the 1st of December, so the Christmas hats will be on.
Ho ho ho.
Ho ho. I've been told that a lot.
For a reason, my friend. For a reason.
But yeah, no, my week's been good. I think the highlight was an actual highlight this week. On Saturday at where I work, we held a sort of a pro-Palestine shop that was like giving all their proceedings back to charity. But we had this, it was quite moving to see. It was like a little family of Palestinians, including kids that were sent here last week from the WHO, not here to the venue, here to UK, just to, get some treatment because some of them were blind, some of them had some brain damage. So it was just lovely to see it with the balloons. But the funny thing was that just outside our venue, we've got a karaoke bar. And the parents and kids were saying, well, what's going on there? I said, no, it's a karaoke bar. What is karaoke? And to explain the concept of karaoke to someone who's never heard it before.
Yeah. It's quite bizarre.
It's quite a bizarre thing. And I just wish that they would join me to sing some karaoke.
But then hold on a second. Did you show them how to because you might not know, but James has a hobby. And I'm talking about the ones which we can talk about.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what are you about to disclose here?
And this is karaoke.
I love karaoke.
And I was expecting that this story gonna end up with you actually showing them how it's done.
Well, it's difficult to show kids that don't know much English songs. The easy one is YMCA, but I don't think they'd be very happy about YMCA given how that song turned. But
yeah, but then it's interesting because then you've seen that. Like what we are seeing on the news in a real life.
Yeah.
You could see actually refugees running away from the war at our doorstep. So how did you support the cause? What did you buy?
So I gave them a balloon with say love. No, I gave them I had a bunch of sweets. I gave some sweets to kids.
Look at this. So at least one Paps has a heart.
Yeah, see, I've got the Santa hat. It's Christmas. It's the time of giving.
It's a Christmas miracle, isn't it?
Speaking of giving, I guess that's a way to put this in. There's a few news of the week. I think this is kind of looking at it, is a bit of the thread, the giving and the receiving.
Wow. Do you want to give us a little rundown?
Of course. So the first story we will be talking about will be Reeves budges in. It's obviously the news of the budget, which I think this is more of the receiving category of...
Or giving the beating.
Yes, that's for sure. Then we have the Office of Budget Irresponsibility. Something happened over there.
I just want to say that for anyone who misses last episode, and maybe in general you don't know about that, but this is old James' little, diamonds in the crown. He's waiting the whole week not to talk to you guys or to talk about the news, just to make those headlines.
Yeah, I'm just there giggling to myself on my desk. Like, irresponsibility.
Yeah. The best jokes in the country. Happening Monday.
Office of Budget Irresponsibility is, of course, in the giving category, as they gave something to the public they shouldn't have. Next time we have you crying about this deal.
This is actually really
Top
good.
tier.
This guy is in the best shape since a long time.
Yeah. This falls onto the receiving because obviously they've received a peace plan.
Yeah.
And finally, we have the last story, which will be Party at Yours or Mine. Of course, a Your Party conference, which, given their title, it will be a given category.
Yeah, so I just want to say that this topic will expose how talented we are, because this is the news which absolutely nobody cares about, and we're still going to make it interesting.
Everything we do is interesting.
Yeah, and entertaining.
It's
a mix of
and
both.
educative.
Too.
Let's start with the first story. The Mirror has Labour can hold their heads higher after budget, but one thing has changed.
And the Telegraph says Reeves' black hole isn't the only lie in this budget.
Okay, have you been following the budget, the biggest week in political year?
I've been following the budget a little bit, not religiously as you did, but I did follow it a little bit, and I gotta say, if Keir Starmer didn't have the best reputation, he proved that it can be worse. And this is a talent, because some people say if you reach the bottom, you can only go up. No, you can dig in.
You can always dig some more.
And hats off for you, Keir, because it requires some pair of strong hands and creativity to go even lower than that. So talking about the budget, how bad it can be, but and I'm going to be trying to be reasonable here, are there any good sides of it?
Well, let me put this. I've done my bit now. We're talking.
Yeah.
So I know we're trying to be on opposite sides, trying to create a discussion and discourse. I'm going to go as far to say that this budget was boring. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just boring.
Come on, man! You cannot say things like that about the budget. Like the budget is one of the very few things which you can measure like they're just facts.
What? That's the thing. Like, this is what annoyed me that it was boring, is that Rachel Reeves wanted to stabilize economic statements, she said. So instead of having 2 fiscal statements, 2 budgets a year, she's only going to do 1 a year. And this is the autumn statement, and this is what happened last week. If you're going to do 1 event a year, make it fun, make it spectacular, like make it exciting what's in it. I mean, we're going to talk later about why it was exciting, but it was exciting for the wrong reasons. But there was nothing exciting in it. Like, okay, they lifted the 2-child benefit cap, which is something that many people complain on both sides of the aisle, which basically, if you have more than 2 kids, well, before it was if you had more than 2 kids, you'd still get the same amount of benefits if you had 2 or 8. And now they've lifted that. So the more kids you have, the more benefits you have. So that lifts child poverty. Yay.
Yeah. Is it good or bad in your opinion?
I think it's good. I mean, I think they were kind of forced to do it. I mean, are you doing the argument that people are popping kids just to get more money?
I am bringing this argument up. And I'm also thinking, if you are already having 6 kids, then you suddenly going to be like, okay, so thanks God, I don't have to go to work anymore.
I mean, I think there's cheaper, easier, and less exhausting ways to get more benefits. And
why? You can just be bad parent and just popping kids and do not have to go to work. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, but then the social services will come to your door, take away your kids, and take away your benefits.
I think you have to really. There is a big gap between not being good parent and not listening to your kids and making them quite useless citizens if you're thinking in such a cruel way about people. But let's, for the need of this conversation, let's do that. Because you're not listening to them and still not qualifying under the pathology of social services taking the kids from you. You know what I mean? And then I mean, like, you don't think that was the case with many countries over in the last 2 decades, that people were popping kids and live off it?
Well, as I said, I mean, I'm going to apply Occam's razor here. Like, there's easier way to do it. Like, if you want to get more benefits.
But you have to work. There are easier way to do it, more money. But you have to work.
But without work, you break your leg. You break both your legs. You get PIP, disability benefit.
Okay, but do you think that it's easier to break both legs than pop another potato?
Like, to be pregnant for 9 months and going through labor more than twice? I think it's quite...
Okay, how about we're going to do the survey?
Okay.
My...
During the weekend.
Yeah.
Is it more exhausting to break your legs and be paralyzed for the rest of your life, or to just keep popping kids?
Let's make it a festival of absurd. Okay, so but please.
So there was that. We'll park that before we
get
throw
into
pint
breaking.
glasses again. What else was there? Oh, so Rachel Reeves was very restricted because she said in the manifesto she wouldn't raise taxes.
Yeah,
but she found a good workaround, which is like, inflation is going up, but the sort of the minimum amount you have to earn to pay tax is staying the same. So as inflation goes up, minimum wage has gone up, everyone's salary goes up, more people will go over the threshold.
Yeah,
but in theory, you haven't raised taxes. It's a smart way. It's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, it is a smart way to do it. But I also want to say that on the other hand, they said that they are increasing the tax for the wealthiest.
Which they didn't do.
Sorry, the what?
They didn't do India.
No, but for the houses. I think you're paying the higher tax for every house over 2.5 mil, and then even higher tax for every house over 5 mil.
So what do you say? 1.2, you start paying taxes, right? Let's say it's 1.2 million that you start paying taxes on your mansion.
2.5.
Let's say 2.5.
Yeah.
So before the budget, it was meant to go a little bit lower. That was the rumor. And about let's say they wanted to do about 2 million.
Yeah.
Then they realized, oh no, but Keir Starmer's house is 2.4 million. Let's raise the bar a little bit more, so it's 2.5, and then you have to pay tax.
It's also, I just want to say that if someone has a house for 2.5 million, paying 2,500 a year is nothing.
No.
It's absolutely
exactly
nothing. And then for a 5 million house, which is already a nice shed in the garden.
No, maybe, and
7.5 grand.
If you need to save money on your mansion because of this new tax, maybe you don't need 3 maids. Maybe you only need 2.
And also stop eating avocado and toast and old flat whites.
Cancel your Netflix subscription. You don't need that.
But no, coming back to the budget. I also seen that they are increasing the minimum wage.
They are, which I think is very exciting. I'm all for. I mean, given the fact that minimum wage hasn't been matching inflation, I think is fantastic news.
You know what they were. I've seen the article saying how much you would have to earn per hour for your salary matching the house cost as it was in 70s.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, guess it. Like how much do you think it would have to be per hour?
So,
and now let's just put it, because maybe not everyone knows. The minimum wage right now is what? 13?
Yeah.
I think
it's 12.50 maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah? So how much do you think?
I don't know, like
to being able to afford it?
20-25?
Yeah, 66 quid. So that's how far off we are from matching the affordability in 70s. And I just want to say that they are talking about 70s being tough times for UK.
Yeah, no, they don't know what they had.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm never gonna own a house.
Yeah, and 66 quid, that's a lot, my friend.
That is a lot. Damn.
So anyway,
last thing about the budget, just because I want to hear your take on this. One of the things they've introduced is a tax per mileage on electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Is that a deterrent to get an electric vehicle?
What do you mean?
As in, is it more convenient then to just get a normal diesel high emission car.
And what is that? What is the thing again? You're paying for a mileage for electric cars.
Yeah. Because the argument is, well, electric cars ruin roads too. So that's why it's by mileage.
Right. But I didn't understand the purpose of that. Oh, because normally what? Because what?
I don't know. They would need to find money somewhere. So they said, okay, electric cars. The more you drive, the more you pay.
Yeah, but it's not like. Why they're not regulating this with the? Oh no. I want to say why they're not regulating this with electricity prices, but then it would hit the households as well. Well, I think that's kind of I personally disagree with that because that's another angle of making capitalism even more kind of shrinking in our lives and kind of getting into it. And it's like another thing which they're going to tax. And I'm just thinking, where's the limit? Are they going to tax they're going to do the face recognition and check how much you're breathing? So you're going to pay the tax from the oxygen?
That's how it is in London, to be fair. Like, as soon as you leave the house, you're spending £5 somehow.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just hearing ching ching in your pocket.
Oh, all right, okay.
Just a deposit in case you wouldn't pay enough this day. Well, listen, I just think I think that we could have kind of expected because we all know that the electricity cars have been introduced. Of course, everyone is saying that it's because of the environment, but it's also been introduced because there is a big concerns and conglomerates making money, lobbying politicians to do that, and then everyone is happy. But now, once they're introduced, they want to keep on making money on them, and then there we go. And there we go. And that's I'm just thinking how they're gonna count it. They're just gonna check people.
Yeah, I guess through the
through the MOT.
Yeah, or the MOTs. Yeah.
Nice. So we're coming back. In Poland back in the days, there was a trick that you could go and kind of before you're selling your car, you can just turn the mileage back. Yeah. So we are coming back to good old 80s, 90s.
Otherwise, you can do like, have you ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Where they steal someone's dad's car and said, oh no, but if we go backwards, if we put the car in reverse, it will go back on the mileage. And after an hour doing that, they realize, no, it's actually still going up.
What a waste. But it's a knowledge.
No, well, anyway, if Rachel Reeves is taking all of our money, the OBR, the Office of Budget Responsibility, gave something to us that they shouldn't have.
Okay.
First headline, the Daily Express. OBR says budget leak was worst failure in our 15-year history.
And the Times says OBR says OBR chief Richard Hughes resigns over budget leak. Follow life. And I think that's big. I think the fact that he resigned is big, and he says that he's leaving because of this leak. He says that it's as simple as that. That it's ended up being not very dangerous, but it shows the lack of professionalism and stuff. And now the question, which has to be asked, is that really that big to resign, or it's a great excuse to resign because he wanted to resign anyway?
It's the minimum he could have done, is resign. I mean, if I were the Prime Minister, Rachel Reeves, I would close the Office of Budget Responsibility. Let me tell you what it is and why it's important.
Yeah.
So Office of Budget Responsibility, so I've got irresponsibility there, so I just keep going to that word, was created under George Osborne, the Chancellor of David Cameron, who created austerity. And it was an independent body that sort of told the government how your budget was going to be. As in, like, is it going to make money? Is there going to be growth? Is there going to be inflation? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a way to sort of keep the government in check and sort of analyze what the budget is. Fast forward to 2021, I want to say. Liz Truss Kwasi Kwarteng mini budget, the one that collapsed the economy in the UK. The Kwasi Kwarteng, the then chancellor, was basically shitting on the OBR, saying like, "Oh, the OBR doesn't know anything. Oh, this thing that." Oh yeah, it is the Tories. We're the Tories. No, but it was bad. It's bad. You don't even listen to that. And it's because the OBR said, yeah, this budget you're doing, going to be terrible. You're going to collapse the economy. And no, fuck it, let's go. And they kept going, and it collapsed the economy. So when the Labour government came in, they said, oh, you know that thing you said you hated, and it's going to collapse the economy, and they were right? We're going to put it central to number 11, the Chancellor's office, saying, everything I do, you're the main authority. Now, leaking a budget before it comes out. Back in the day, it happened that an MP was asked as he was entering the Commons by a journalist. The journalist said, listen, by the time I publish this article, the budget will be revealed anyway. Can you tell me if this is it? He said, yeah, it's it.
Oh no.
That MP had to
What a
resign.
damas. Oh my God.
The reason why it's big, this budget, is because knowing what the budget will have can change economies. Like you can sell,
It's like manipulating stock. People are going to print Jordan Belfort, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, well, exactly.
Exactly.
Like if you know that something is going to be bad for, I don't know, China, someone will sell everything they have in China and they're going to make loads of money because the market reacts
of course.
instantly.
Of course.
So having the budget released as Keir Starmer is at this pedestal doing PMQs an hour before the budget is released, that's real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. Like you had, when the Prime Minister was doing PMQs, you had both Kate Badenoch and Mel Stride just reading and taking notes because the budget came out. So no one even cared about PMQs. They were all saying, okay, we know what's happening.
Yeah, this is the hottest news of the year, arguably. So
that's why I'm saying it's the minimum he can do is resign. I would take away the...
Do we know how the leak happened, technically?
Just they scheduled it wrong, I think. It was simple as that.
Unbelievable. The incompetence at the most basic level.
Yeah.
Nice. And then, you see, we are learning something new all the time. The only problem is, what is more... Like, what is it more harmful for Keir Starmer, his reputation, or for the actual events on the market? Because at the end of the day, the fact that the budget has been leaked, and it's already happened now, and it's been also published, so, it's case closed. Did that really affect the market that much? I didn't hear any massive crack on the stock market.
I think it's because everyone got it at once.
Yeah, but now... So everyone will forget about this practical aspect of that because that actually didn't change that much, right? Because it didn't leak a week before.
Yeah.
But then everyone will remember it to Keir.
Keir and Rachel Reeves. That day was her big day. Like her career was on the line.
Exactly.
And it was ruined from the beginning.
And she got on the stage and she forgot the line.
She started off pissed. Like she was like really angry when she got to the pedestal.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
because that's basically the whole thing. Her job was to not screw it up, and she screwed up. And I believe that she might have been angry because, for instance, it wasn't directly her fault.
Yeah,
but she's responsible for it, and so be it.
Yeah, I mean, and as I said, the OBR is an independent body, so it's technically not the government's fault, but
hello.
So it's a symptom of the incompetence of this government.
Yeah. Okay, we got to be moving forward. So the next, what is the next topic? It's so good. So you crying about this deal. It's you should be proud of it. I believe we're gonna get some of the beating in comments of laughing at this serious topic, but you know what? I'm ready. It was worth it.
Hey, I took off the Santa hat. We can. This is serious, okay?
Okay, so I'll start this time. The BBC says Ukraine war latest. NATO could consider preemptive strike with Russia makes biggest advance in a year, study says.
And the Kiev Independent says why Trump's peace plan is unlikely to end Russia's war in Ukraine.
So a little recap. So 2 weeks ago, Russia gave a 28-point plan to Ukraine, which was basically I like that someone compared it to similar peace deal which Nazi Germany gave to France. During the Second World War.
Right? Yeah.
The only difference is Ukraine didn't really lose. Unlike France at that point, and she still and they still get the horrible deal. Then Ukraine. Said, okay, no problem. Actually, I hats off for the diplomacy of them because they said it's worth considering. But how about we gonna do a little tweak to it? And then they reduce it to 19 points. They get rid of Russia being completely in control of what is happening internally in Ukraine. So that's good. But then Lavrov, which is the minister of foreign politics in Russia, said, well, this deal is kind of unacceptable. So what we're seeing right now is 1st December, and it's very, very unlikely that the war will finish this year. And the peace plan probably won't be accepted because Russia won't accept it. I just want to say one more thing, though, that the biggest advance in a year, it's not true. It's a false fact because I checked it before we started streaming the most popular show on internet, and it's not true. It's purely Russian propaganda, which obviously works because BBC writes about it. By the way, I don't know if you remember, but BBC is also going through the PR crisis. It doesn't help.
It's got some issues.
There's a little bit of it. So what do you think?
So two things I would say. The first one is that this circles back a bit to a story we were talking about 2 weeks ago about the corruption within Zelensky's government.
Yeah.
Because the day before they were all meeting to negotiate this deal, the chief of staff's house of Ukraine got raided, and the next day he resigned because of corruption.
And I think he fled the country.
Yeah, I think he went to Israel.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, though, that this chief of staff was the lead negotiator in the peace deals.
Yeah.
So the fact that they managed to sort of wiggle themselves out this basically surrender that Russia proposed without the lead negotiator who was there from the beginning, fair dues. Well
yeah,
done.
I mean, like,
well done.
Yeah. You know, I'm pretty sure that you know they it's not like the whole fate is just a bit, you know, based on one person.
But it's easier if it's always the same person because you have a relationship with the other side. There's, you know what their philosophy is. It's easier to always negotiate with the same person.
Yeah.
The second point I wanted to make is the details. So last week we went through point by point? Something.
No, we went 2 weeks ago, I think, and last week we updated it.
And we had several concerns, but I think we talked about it already then. Yeah. Whatever.
No, we had several concerns, but what I believe you're trying to say is that like the new deal which Ukraine proposes more kind of acceptable.
It's much more acceptable, and the war crimes will be dealt with.
Yeah,
that was part of it.
Basically, what we're facing right now, as a summary, is that peace is the ceasefire is unlikely to happen.
It is,
and I also something important is that we are seeing the massive energy crisis in Ukraine. And it's probably going to be one of the most difficult winters in the country since a long time because they simply have no electricity, even in the big cities, no heating because Russians are striking their biggest centers, leaving the left side of the Ukraine pretty much disconnected, while the right side going to have probably the surplus of the supplies, but without availability to supplying this to the left side. So it's a quite tragic situation. And also something to finish off is that after the corruption scandal, the Zelensky's trust in the society dropped from 50 to 20%.
Yeah. And however, a few points may be gained again because that chief of staff I mentioned apparently really unpopular, really unpopular. He was basically
so weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
How come?
I don't know. I mean, you take the money, you follow the corruption, and yet people are still not happy. What can you do?
I mean,
what can you do to make the people happy?
Just give everyone $100 and sell them it's it's a Christmas miracle.
A bit more corruption. have a couple hundred. Everyone.
But then everyone in the society, please stand in the queue. One for you, one for
vote
you.
for me, vote for me, vote for me.
And now we're all good. Thank you. Yeah. So what about him?
No, because he's gone, the polls went a bit higher.
You mean the point of the popularity? Yeah, I mean, like we'll see, and it's also everyone is saying how Zelensky is on the edge of losing his power, but actually, if you know internal politics of Ukraine a little bit, there is really no one who can compete with him, except Zaluzhny, who is the main commander of the army. He's, by the way, in London.
Oh.
And then he is, but there is still, Zelensky is working hard to bring him on his own side. So it's not as bad as. Let's all remember one thing: press likes drama.
Oh no!
But there is a hope to avoid all of this. Just watch Papses. We are
the drama. We don't need to cause it. We are the drama.
We're drama kings. So we are saying that it's like, okay, it's too much drama. Okay,
no, let's calm down. Calm down.
The last one. Quick one.
Speaking of drama,
it's Party at Yours and Mine, which is Party Conference, and Novara. That's interesting. Novara Media. That's exotic. Your Party Conference. Total chaos or the future of democracy?
And Byline Times says, your party's chaotic conference exposed a movement at war with itself.
I just want to say that newspapers you're finding for the headlines, proving that we know the internet inside out, because I would say that some scammy sort of websites where you can buy neon lights for your Christmas tree and never receive it after making a transfer. But it's
Oh, no, you will. They'll be just this small.
exactly. So
here I went for headlines that were extra.
right.
Just bear in mind, BBC News and other mainstream papers did report on this, so it is important, Paps.
No,
People are talking about it, not just Novara Media.
So important. What do you mean, not just Novara Media? Novara Media is what I'm reading before going to bed every night. So what is it? What is so important?
So, your party, they had the conference. This is obviously Jeremy Corbyn's and also Tana's party.
And I just want to say, it's not my party. The party is called Your Party.
Well, that's one of the things they were voting on. What is the name of the party? And then,
Extremely creative people.
listen to the options. These were,
Okay.
you had your party.
Our party.
Actually was our party.
Oh my God.
And then Popular Alliance, which would never have gotten put. And then there was another one, which was something like,
Popular Alliance sounds like some pro-Russian hoax.
yeah, I know. And then it was like the Changing Party or something like that.
Okay, so they actually ended up good.
Did they? I think this is a terrible.
Yeah, but everything else you mentioned is kind of down the slippery slope.
Well, I suggested a title which I thought would have been great, but they didn't listen to me. I genuinely did. I wrote to them.
What did you
I
suggest?
think you should change it to the Change Party because Keir Starmer.
Tricky.
But because Keir Starmer's slogan was change, and change never happened. So they should call themselves Change Party.
Yeah, but then imagine that they're doing something wrong and basically they are shouting on their summits, change party, change party. You don't know if they're actually on your side or they want you to leave.
Oh, yeah, because shouting on the street, we need reform.
Yeah, no. It's
About
true.
reforming the country or reform party. That's why.
You see, but the guy who is leading on reform, he's drinking pints with people. They're not going to...
No, that's true. That's true.
but anyway...
Fine. So there was that.
Summit, yeah.
And basically, it was a way to vote on stuff. And as you know, I was very excited when Jeremy Corbyn and Sarah Sultana formed this party.
Yeah.
However, there was an argument about the name of the party because Corbyn said, I want to keep it your party.
Right.
So 51% of the people voted for your party. Weird number that as well. 51%. The madness, this cannot be an electable party because they've changed it. There was a vote. Do you want to have like an assembly of leaders or do you want one leader? And they decided the assembly was a better idea, which means let's say they become the main party of the UK. Who's prime minister?
No, but it's like, I'm going to tell you how it works because we had this case in Poland over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Assembly of Leaders is good because they can still, without being called that they're trying to please everyone, they can get different targets, different people. And then by the time they're going to actually start meaning something on a political market, it's going to be narrowing down. They're going to have probably two leaders on one leader ending up, but still gathering all these people who are voting for them at the beginning. It's good. Assembly of Leaders, who everyone is saying a little bit different stuff, gives the impression that you're a little bit independent and also lets you get more people voting for you because they're thinking, we're not voting for this guy, we're voting for another guy. While actually, they're having the same power. So I think this strategically, they might have not think about it because judging from how they're choosing the name, their brain is size of a Tic Tac. But
I was just about to say, so you're defending your party more than me this time. But no, you're back at Tic Tacs. Great idea, Assembly of Leaders. But mine's a Tic Tacs.
Yeah. So I think they just had this cheeky idea by accident. They're not master of puppets.
I see.
They are puppets.
Okay. Well, you got me excited again for your party. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think they'll ever be. I mean, they've lost their momentum. Given all the hiccups they've been having throughout the journey of a party that, basically just formed. This party conference was the launch of the party. And launching the membership that you could pay for and then say, actually, that was a mistake. That was just Sarah Sultana doing her thing. And then it was messy. And it's still messy. Like, even the Assembly of Leaders, if there's one thing that the left is good at, is fighting with itself. So having an Assembly of Leaders is gonna...
Yeah, you know, I didn't even know that they seriously registered. So I think they're gone before they started. But anyway, that was actually, I'm happy with those Papses because we had no Trump news.
No Trump news,
which is great because we have a bit of a breathing room from him, even though he obviously is playing one of the main roles in the Ukraine deal, but not at least not on Papses today.
And maybe even starting a war with Venezuela. But we always talk about that.
Yeah. We can take a week break from it, and I'm also liking the fact that we ended up with this absolutely useless news, but I still had fun.
It's important, okay?
Well, Paps, thank you so much for this week episode of this delicious show we are doing.
Well, thank you, Paps.
And guys, thank you for watching, and we're gonna see you next week live, and then Wednesday on your favorite Spotify, YouTube, and w1radio.co.
And all that jazz. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Paps.
Thank you. Bye.